Here we are, yet again. What? Well, let's get started. George Floyd. George. Ahmaud, Eric, Sandra, and the list goes on and on and on. I sit here asking myself, when is it going to end? I have an idea. So, fair warning, if you're watching, I'm going to let you know how. And it's going to be nothing but the unfiltered truth. So here it goes. Of course, Black people, we have used multiple methods, peaceful methods of requiring equality, something that should be a natural birthright to anybody walking this earth that considers themselves a human being. But as we have seen time and time again, that is just not the case. So, one could say that along with Black people asking, requiring, requesting, yelling, singing, chanting, all that good stuff, that maybe the people on the opposing side can do some inner work and help their fellow man. It's a big request for some of you, I know. And here's the truth. Because society has a spectrum. And the moment we're born into this world, Blacks and whites, and everybody in between, but we're talking about Blacks and whites and our relationship, we're told from jump where we stand in society based off of our gender and what we look like, aka this. And the conditioning affects both sides, but it affects it in different ways. It affects us by telling us we're less than, we're not good enough, we never will be good enough. And it is our job then, from that point forward to the day we die, to fight against that mentality. That's why Black people are always ready. Like we always catching something. We not for it, we're not here because we were brought up in it. The world, our nation has trained us to in their eyes how they see us. And we're like, okay, if that's the way it is, then I'm gonna be me regardless. White people, it affects you, the conditioning, because it allows you the privilege, yes, to be blind to the atrocities and the hardships that us Black people go through. Because everything, it is meant to build you up. It's meant to push you forward. It's always telling you you're good enough, you're worthy enough, you can make it, you know, this, that, and the third. It's basically the idea and the mentality that every human being should be given. But we're not. So let's get to the riots. The riots and the looting and everything that's going on in the world today. The anger is completely understandable. Black people are exhausted. We are exhausted. We are tired. It is a job 24/7, 365 days a year to be Black in America. And just because your coworkers, talking to my white people, because your coworkers and your friends and your church members have smiles on their faces, just because they have smiles on their faces and they're, got good energy to be around, that doesn't mean that they're not faced with the harsh reality of being Black in America every day. They are. I know I have been. I have this big smile and I have a very pleasant nature. I'm very chill. And I've always been, loving and open towards everybody because that's just the way I was raised. And that's just who I am as a person. But I know where I stand in society. I know because of my beautiful brown skin that regardless of how well spoken I am, how beautiful I am, what kind of heart I have, all of that is subsidiary, comes into second place to my skin tone. I've been followed in a store before. I have definitely had a situation of I was not able to go to a birthday party of a friend, and this was when I was in elementary school, simply because I was Black. My dear white people, it is real out here, okay? And you need to wake up. White people have been afforded the ability to be in a bubble and not have to deal with things that affect the Black community, because it just doesn't affect y'all. If it doesn't directly affect you, then you're good, you're fine. I mean, you might be like, oh, that's so sad, post something and then move around. Some of y'all won't even do that. Like, at least some people will acknowledge, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. But some, my allies that are on the front lines with my people that I see in the streets, you are much appreciated. You have so much respect from me, because it takes a lot to stand up against your own and call them out for when they're wrong. Before I walk out of this video, I'm gonna leave you with this, okay? And maybe this could shed some light to those who are confused, to those who are oblivious, to those who whatever. I saw something on Instagram, and it was the most perfect example of the overt racism that we are constantly fighting every day, and the covert racism. Now, the covert racism, that one is way more common. And if you look at all of the things that fall under covert racism, and if it does relate to you, you know what you need to do. My Black people, I love you. I will always stand with you. I know the anger, I know the frustration, I know the heartache and the pain. We're gonna get through this. We hadn't got this far for nothing. My white people, my allies, white people, thank you. My white people in general, look at the, just look at the picture I'm gonna show you. And I'm gonna allow you to do your own assessing. We're human beings, not animals. And we have every right to anything else that any other human being that doesn't look like us has a right to. Be blessed.